Hey there, Blade fans. Greetings, and welcome back to this Old Sword Blade Reviews, where we've got a brand new Kizer knife to show you today. And as you can see, it's got kind of a strange name. It is called the Momo. Let me back out a little bit, get a little better focus. It is a Momo. It is an all aluminum frame knife, even with an aluminum bolster. Very nice, smooth transition between the bolster and the handle. Handle's blacked out, coated black, while this is a dark gray for the bolster. Two different sections, but same material, both aluminum. And why don't I show you the blade? Of course, you're waiting for that. Almost did it in one flip, just happened to hit the background there, the reflector that I'm using. An interesting knife, and I don't have my notes handy for the maker or the designer, so hold tight. This designer is Vladimir Legachev. And this knife, according to Kizer's specifications, is a 4.17-inch satin blade. And I'm going to give you some of the other measurements as we go along, but I figured I'd give you that much to get you started. And this little mark here next to Momo is likely Vladimir's logo. It looks like a left slanted eye with a dot and a vertical eye. So not quite sure, but I'm pretty sure that is the logo of the designer. Look at this beautiful blade. It kind of looks like it could be a paring knife or a kitchen knife of some sort. Kizer is selling it as an EDC knife, or promoting it, I should say, as an EDC knife. Everything knife. You don't want to corner, I was going to say corner your market. That's not the right term, but you don't want to restrict your market by saying it's only for this or it's only for that. It's only a defense knife. It's only a tactical knife. It's only a EDC knife. It's a kitchen knife, because you may not have people buying it. But 154 cm, very beautifully ground belt satin finish on this. It is the only flavor that it comes in, with the satin and the dark aluminum handle. It doesn't come in anything else, at least at the moment. But I think that's a good combo. And yeah, I'm bringing my left hand into play. You can see no cast on it, but there is a nice, lovely scar there where they kind of reworked my thumb joint. Still kind of regaining strength in the thumb, so I'm not going to be flicking this guy open with the right hand, but I can nicely hold it. What do you know? Medical miracles, medical science never ceases, huh? Um, Big knife, as I said, and I think we're going to get right into an overall measurement for you so you can appreciate how large it is. 9.5 inches, folks. 9.5 inches with a 4.17-inch blade, and about the same for the cutting edge. They're equal. How about that? As far as other dimensions go, it's a pretty thin and slicey blade. So let's start with the handle. Yeah, 0.51, so half an inch on the handle, and 0.11 on the blade stock, which works out to 2.8 millimeter. So for the size of the knife, relatively thin blade stock. Let's see if we can get a weight on it, and that should wrap it up as far as the specs go. We've got 4.8 ounces, so not exactly a lightweight, but not exactly a small knife either. The back here a little bit. Okay. And it's got an unusual sort of a flipper tab very pronounced. Some call it a pocket stabber, depending upon how deep it goes in your pocket. I did see a brief review on this overview by Jared Neve of Neve's Knives podcast, not podcast, channel on YouTube. And he did mention it. He didn't really care for the fact that they put the clip kind of even with the top of the handle. And I would tend to agree, except for the fact, as he mentioned, that if you were to hold it with the right hand, and by the way, you cannot transfer the clip to the left, unfortunately, that does go kind of right into your palm. I don't really feel it as so much of a hot spot in my hand, but you are able to get up on the handle, so kind of away from the clip just a bit. But even back here in my right hand, I can certainly feel it, but it's not digging in. And on the left hand, not that bad. I've been carrying left for a while the right hand heals up. Normally I am a lefty, but I carry on the right, so figure that out. We've got an interesting kind of I don't know if you want to call it a swedge, but you can see it pinches in the thickness there right at that point. And speaking of points, it's a fairly fine point. It's not hair thin, but it is thin, and I almost lost the knife. Coordination's not quite back in the right hand yet. But look at this. That is just slicey madness. So they did set it up where you could certainly food prep with this knife, take it out camping, whatnot. Speaking of that, and let me get rid of that last scrap. We have the Miki here, M-I-K-I. I'm going to open that with my left. And that's a Tonto. And Miki makes a number of knives that can sort of suffice as a, what would you call it, kind of a camp knife maybe, although probably not so much this one. But again, the similarity, and I'll close them all up so you can see that again in a moment, is this big pointy flipper tab. And in this case, there is the Knock Knives. And not sure I got the model number. Yeah, I do. It's so it's 440C DG04. Had this for a while. Big old chef style kind of a knife. They used the same sort of opening method with this, although you can middle finger flick it with that big hole. But what I'm talking about, and you probably saw already. And by the way, this is a liner lock. So it is a visible liner, not a hidden liner, with an aluminum handle scales. Very interesting. And we've got a good 40% lockup. So I would say that whole liner marries up even with the outside edge of the blade, which is nice. So you've got room to have it wear a bit, as well as keeping it well locked. So here's what we're talking about with the style of these three knives, is that prominent front flipper tab. Look at that. Sticking right out there on each of these. You may or may not like the style, but I'll tell you one thing. For us guys that don't really care too much for front flippers, it makes it much easier than some of the more muted front flippers. Nice action on this Miki, by the way. Very smooth. I'm pretty sure I did a review on that. So if you're looking for it, just look up M-I-K-I on the website or on my YouTube channel, and you will find it. Let's take another look at what we've got going on here. You could slow roll that. We've got enough of half a choil area here, if you want to call it that, where it creates a sharpening choil. So you've got a good amount of room for wear if you're sharpening this a lot. And you could see that it does come through quite sharp. The only thing I would say about the edge is it is extremely smooth and not bitey. So you may prefer a bitier edge, but I would say for food prep, you'd probably want the smoother edge. Just guessing. How does it stack up size-wise against the Rat 1? Here is the Rat 1 from Ontario. Not sure if they're making these again or not. I know the company got sold off. You may know. I haven't kept track. A little over an inch longer on this big boy here. And 9.5 inches, I did say. And we got a blade compared to the Rat 1, about 3/4 of an inch or so longer, somewhere in that vicinity. So although the Rat 1 is a big knife, long knife, we're going way bigger here. And we're talking about roughly $109, I think, from White Mountain. If you use my discount code Old Sword, you will get 10% off. So there you go. That would knock, what would it knock off, $11? Something like that. So not bad, not bad. Bring it down a little bit, just a shade below 100. So if I'm doing my math right, as I'm winging it here with this review. Another look at that beautiful satin finish. The jimping is there, but it unfortunately gets buried below the surface. It's a bit more rough here, although it's really not. I'd say it's on the light side for jimping, although it's fairly, the grooves are fairly close together. But again, you got that big platform there, very easy to open. And that's pretty much what it is and what you've got. The Momo by Kizer. And I haven't found out much more about the designer. If you know more about the designer, let me know. But that designer, once again, is Vladimir Legachev, or Legachev. Not sure where the emphasis goes. My Russian was never that great and probably non-existent. Be well, you all. Don't forget to give this vid a like and subscribe. I will be back soon.